Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi jointly inaugurated the historic Nepal-India petroleum pipeline yesterday through video conferencing. The 69-kilometer-long Motihari-Amlekchang pipeline, the first ever cross-border petroleum pipeline in South Asia, is expected to help save around 2 billion rupees a year in expenses on fuels import. Good morning, I'm Amit Mackerel and these are the top stories up to this hour. Prime Ministers of Nepal and India jointly inaugurate the Nepal-India petroleum pipeline. Petroleum starts flowing into Amlekchang from Motihari. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi returns home after a 3-day official visit to Nepal. Visit taken as a building ground for Chinese President's Nepal visit. US President Donald Trump announces he fired his hardline national security advisor John Bolton, citing disagreement. Bolton vows to have it say in due course. And Cristiano Ronaldo scores 4 goals for Portugal in a 5-1 win at Lithuania. France and England also emerged victorious. Let's begin with the national political updates. Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi officially inaugurated the Motihari-Amlekchang petroleum pipeline yesterday. The foundations for the pipeline had been laid in April 2017. The Prime Ministers of the two countries jointly inaugurated the pipeline by pressing remote controllers yesterday. We have a report.
This is how the Amlekchang petroleum depot looked like. The decked-up petroleum depot hosted many government officials from Nepal and India for its inaugural ceremony. The pipeline is first of such joint projects between Nepal and India and was scheduled to complete constructions within 30 months' time. However, it might come as a surprise. While rest of the other projects in Nepal have been stalled for long, the constructions of the pipeline completed a year ahead of the scheduled completion date. The Nepal government claims the pipeline will help ease in fuel import in future.
जति पठायो त्यति आउँछ र जस्तो पठायो त्यस्तै आउँछ यो पाइपलाइनको बेनिफिट भने तीनटा चीज चाहिँ यो पाइपलाइनले चाहिँ ग्यारेन्टी गरेको छ इन्स्योर गरेको छ यहाँ कतिपय कुराहरू चाहिँ अब ट्याङ्क ट्रकको चालकबाट यस्तो भयो उस्तो भयो मिसावटको कुरा थिए परिमाणका कुराहरू थिए यो सबै कुरो केही पनि हुँदैन जमिन मुनिबाट चाहिँ यो तेल चाहिँ नेपाल आइलेन्डको अम्लेखन डिपोमा आउँछ.
Nepal had been importing fuel through tankers filled at Indian state Bihar's Barauni and Raxaul. Experts have suggested the government should form a separate mechanism to determine fuel price. Nepal expects to import 192,000 liters of fuel through the pipeline.
स्वतन्त्र छुट्टै रेगुलेटरी बडीले गर्नुपर्ने हो यो चाहिँ प्राइसिङ भन्ने चीज नेपाल आइलेन्डमा आफैले गर्ने त हैन नि.
The Nepal Oil Corporation has said the pipeline will help save around 2 billion rupees that Nepal had been bearing to import fuel every year. The corporation has also said it would reduce the price for fuel products by 2 rupees per litre. Likewise, the corporation has said the fuel supply will not be interrupted even if there is any kind of blockage in future. It may be recalled that Nepal had faced fuel shortage during the blockade at border with India back in 2015.
Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi returned home yesterday after a 3-day visit to Nepal. Foreign Minister Wang held several high-level political meetings and bilateral talks during his stay in the capital. The visit was also considered as a building ground for Chinese President Xi Jinping's visit to Nepal.
Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi met with co-chairman of the ruling Nepal Communist Party Pushpakamal Dahal and President of Nepali Congress Sherbahadur Dewa Tuesday morning before heading back to China later in the afternoon. The visiting minister also attended courtesy calls hosted by President Vidya Devi Bhandari and Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli during his visit. In majority of the meetings, Minister Wang expressed interest on Nepal's commitment towards achieving economic development goals, strengthening its political environment and national security. Following his meeting, co-chairman of the ruling Nepal Communist Party Pushpakamal Dahal said Wang Yi's visit had paved way for Chinese President Xi Jinping's visit to Nepal. Dahal also informed that the visiting minister had expressed commitments in providing financial support to help take the bilateral relations with Nepal to a new height.
दुई देशका बीचमा रहिआएको सदियौं पुरानो मित्रतापूर्ण सम्बन्धलाई आजको परिस्थितिमा अझ सुदृढ गर्ने विषयमा छलफल भयो एउटा। दोस्रो, नेपालको आर्थिक विकासको प्रयासमा चीन सरकारबाट चिनिया जनताबाट हुने सहयोग र हाम्रो अपेक्षाको बारेमा कुराकानी भयो। अर्को, अब दुईटा सरकारको बीचमा गरिने सहकार्य र सहयोगको क्षेत्रलाई विस्तार गर्ने बारेमा कुरा भयो। साथसाथै राष्ट्रपतिको नेपाल भ्रमणको विषयमा पनि हामीले चर्चा गर्यौं।
Wang Yi is expected to inform the Chinese president about Nepal's preparations for his arrival, security arrangements, and Nepal's priorities for the Belt and Road Initiative project. The high-level bilateral meeting held on Monday discussed on several projects under the Belt and Road Initiative. Likewise, the two sides also signed a few agreements. However, experts back home have opined it would be too early for Nepal to weigh its relations with China based on a few agreements made during the Chinese minister's 3-day visit.
And time now for a short break. For more news, do stay with us. The Supreme Court had directed all three levels of the government to remove all infrastructures built by encroaching the land around Phewa Lake. However, none of the three tiers of the government have implemented the directive. And in this contest, we had asked the residents of Pokhara why has the order not been implemented. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public voice.
सर्वोच्चले पनि आफ्ना आदेशहरू कार्यान्वयन भएनन् भने त्यसमा अलिकता कडा स्टेप चाल्नुपर्छ।
अदालतले भनेको कुराहरू नमान्ने यो भनेको त सानो कुरा होइन नि हैन। यसमा चाहिँ एउटा कुनै कारबाही त गर्नुपर्छ नि त, तर त्यो गरिएको छैन।
राजनीति कारण हो। अब त्यो गर्दाखेरि कतैको प्रेस पर्छ, त्यहाँ चाहिँ वरिपरिका चाहिँ जुन अब अतिक्रमण गरेर बसेका छन् नि, उनीहरुको पहुँच ठुलो छ। जुन हाल्ने चाहिँ प्रशासन भनौं न, हाम्रो चाहिँ जुन सरकारका निकायहरू हुन्, अब तिनीहरुले चाहिँ नि ती मान्छेहरुको डरले चाहिँ त अगाडि बढ्न नसके जस्तो मलाई लाग्छ।
चुनावमा असर पर्ला, रिसाउलान्, हाम्रा कार्यकर्ता, हाम्रा मान्छे, फलानाका मान्छे भनेर त्यसरी चाहिँ नोटेरेका हुन्।
It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, what should be done to facilitate public's access to wholesale shops during festival seasons? And options are A. Open wholesale shops at every nook and corner. B. Reduce prices for important products. And C. Increase operating hours. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And it's now time for our special segment, Laugh Out Loud.
Back home, action has been taken against some school teachers who have failed to furnish their property details. The Ministry of Education, Science and Technology has recommended action against 458 school teachers for their failure to furnish property details. As per the Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority Act, any teachers found to be not submitting their property details are liable to face government action. The provision in the government ruling should be appreciated, but the question that arises is whether it is appropriate to take action against teachers who make their living on meager wages. The question makes valid ground as at a time when the government is relieving big players who are involved in corruption amounting to billions, the authority is claiming to achieve big by forwarding action against hapless teachers. This is Prarambha Dahal for Kantipur News Desk.
And before we wrap up, a reminder of the top stories. Prime Ministers of Nepal and India jointly inaugurate the Nepal-India Petroleum Pipeline. Petroleum starts flowing into Amlekans from Motihari. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi returns home after the 3-day official visit to Nepal. Visit taken as a building ground for Chinese residents' Nepal visit. US President Donald Trump announces he fired his hardline national security advisor John Bolton, citing disagreement. Bolton vows to have his say in due course. And Cristiano Ronaldo scores 4 goals for Portugal in a 5-1 win at Lithuania. France and England also emerged victorious. And that's all for this hour. Keep watching Kantipur Television SD for more news and entertainment. Have a good day.